What if I told you that the biggest XRP partnership ever has been hidden for almost 10 years? Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world, has already promised to use XRP for both internal transactions and as a way for people all over the world to pay for things in the next part of e-commerce. Hold on tight, because today's video shows papers and testimony that disprove everything that was thought before. There is a signed agreement from 2015 between Ripple and Amazon that supposedly lays out a plan to add XRP to Amazon Web Services, offer liquidity through RippleNet, and even use XRP as a settlement layer for digital goods and international logistics. If this deal goes through as planned, it could mean that XRP doesn't just compete with fiat, it could also replace USD and other important digital currencies. First, let's talk about the news. Late in May, an unknown document appeared online that said it was part of an Amazon Ripple deal from 2015. Many people thought it was just made up at first, but as you look more closely, the pieces start to fit together. Did you sign the last page? Alex Webb. What words? In line with how Amazon talked about law and business at the time. What was the stated goal? To provide easy access to XRP and high-frequency, high-volume ecosystems such as AWS cloud billing and cross-border fulfillment. Now think about why Amazon would need 5 billion XRP tokens in 2015, 8 years before XRP became popular. The answer is that they were thinking ahead and getting ready for a time when fiat rails would break down and global speed and efficiency would depend on decentralized on-demand liquidity. That's not all, though. XRP has also shown up out of the blue and in a place no one saw it coming. FedNow's Play area for developers. FedNow is an instant payment service for the US government that was launched by the Federal Reserve. It had test code that used both XRP and legacy banking APIs. It wasn't just a mention, it was a test module with fully functional code that would connect to RippleNet. A GitHub mirror still shows bits of XRP roots hidden in testnet scripts, even though the Fed later took them out of the documentation. Random event? Or proof that the US central bank sees XRP as a possible protocol for settlement in a future where, speed, compliance, and scalability are required by law. After that comes the strategic layer. The BRICS countries are moving quickly while Western institutions struggle with how to regulate cryptocurrencies and control banks. There are more and more rumors that XRP is being used instead of US dollars in hidden trade deals between two countries. The most important example? Oil. Some people think that Saudi Arabia and Russia, which are two of the world's biggest energy producers, are trying Ripple's on-demand liquidity to avoid sanctions, speed up settlements, and reduce their exposure to changes in the value of the USD. Data shows a rise in XRP payments that line up with oil bill cycles, but nothing is certain. Not only would this shake up finance, but it would also make the pound less important in energy trade. That's when XRP stops being just valuable and starts being necessary. Of course, this isn't being talked about in the major media. Why? Because it is possible to keep prices low. Let us talk about the plot, which may not be an idea anymore. Compared to other altcoins that are similar, XRP has not done well for years. The price has stayed intentionally low even though it has a huge amount of use, is very liquid, and is being used in the real world. Some people think this is done on purpose, and that financial leaders, institutional players, and even government agencies have worked together to keep the price of XRP low while quietly building up their holdings. The reason? Handle. If the price of XRP stays low, big players in the market like banks, hedge funds, and even tech giants like Amazon can buy a lot of it without making the market go crazy. Seriously, it's not a coincidence that just as XRP starts to really take off, there's a new lawsuit, a delay, or a big FUD bomb in the news. Take a look at the time here. The SEC's case against Ripple happened just as ODL was beginning to really take off around the world. That court case really slowed things down for many years. But XRP did win a big court battle when Judge Torres said that when it's sold on secondary markets, XRP is not a security. That decision really did open the floodgates, but it wasn't exactly hailed as a success in the general financial world. Why is that? That's why. The banks weren't done buying yet. It wasn't just a coincidence that Amazon released that first MAU in 2015. They've been telling people that XRP is their long-term play while other tokens caught their attention. Just think about what it means for XRP to be a part of Amazon's system. That's not just a crypto project getting better. That's an engine for global trade getting in line with decentralized banking. If AWS, Amazon Pay, Amazon Fresh, and their international marketplaces start accepting XRP as payment, trillions of dollars will flow through each year. There were only 100 billion XRP tokens ever made, and half of them are locked or lost. This makes it clear that the current price is not only too low, but also ridiculous. Let's look at the math. If XRP could just get 10% of Amazon's expected $2 trillion in future global transaction volume, even at a slow rate, the demand would easily be enough to raise its value above Bitcoin's market cap in 2017. In this way, we arrive at the much-mocked but now more likely $10,000 price estimate. That amount is based on the idea that XRP will replace the US dollar as the main way to pay for digital goods, oil contracts, and cross-border transactions. Let's now talk to the critics. But why hasn't the price changed yet? The answer is here. The price won't change until the equipment is finished and the news is made public. It's known as deliberate delay. Businesses don't buy like people do. They gather in quiet places like dark pools and over-the-counter desks, often months or even years before big moves. They do not want retail to get ahead of them in the positions. So even though there have been a lot of rumors, Amazon has been quiet. Before they get enough XRP for their business needs, they have no reason to confirm the partnership. And trade memos that were leaked say that they're almost done. Ripple's recent activity is another interesting clue. Escrow releases are being held up or put off. Money flow routes are growing faster than ever in Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. Ripple is also hiring a lot, especially for roles in enterprise partnerships and cloud integration. All of these changes point to one thing. XRP is at the center of something big that's about to happen. It's clear that the chess pieces are moving, whether it's a full-scale launch with Amazon, a pilot with a central bank, or a sudden relisting on major exchanges after the SEC's decision. What does that leave you? Now is your chance. Before the news came out, the price went through the roof, the stock was relisted, and the media went crazy. If the leaks are real and Amazon has 5 billion XRP, Fed now is quietly adding RippleNet, and BRICS countries are swapping oil and XRP, then we're really looking at a huge change in the way money works. You're also early, but you know being early is only useful if you're ready. The false information is done on purpose, the quiet is planned, the price cuts are planned, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Here's what you should do. Stay informed, keep your cool, and stay put. Because everything changes when the announcement comes out, when Amazon confirms, or when Ripple shows off the next step. XRP will no longer be an altcoin for speculation. It will be made of digital stuff. Leave a comment if you think XRP will change the way the world handles money. If your price is more than $10,000, hit that like button. Most importantly, sign up now to make sure you never miss the updates that the establishments want you to miss. This isn't just a sign. There is a change going on right now behind closed doors. Not a Ben. The only reason this movie exists is to teach and inform. It's not advice about money. Before you decide to invest, please do your own study and talk to a financial advisor.